Hi YouTube, welcome back to Damon Tarot. It's going to be a collective, general collective reading. All right, so take what resonates. Don't force anything to fit. Most importantly, use your discernment. All right, let's get into your reading. What messages does Spirit have for the collective? For the collective, what's the message, please? Magic. So you guys have been busy with creating, manifesting, like really trying to bring your ideas into reality, it looks like some heavy manifestation. Not only manifesting whatever it is that you're working towards or whatever opportunity it is that you would like to uh, attract to you, but like putting in the work to make that happen. Because it would be nice if we could just wish upon a star, and then whatever we wish for just appears, just drops from the sky and appears right at our doorstep. But we know that's not how it works. You really have to put in a lot of work in order to get what it is that you want. Manifesting is like 10% of it, maybe even less. And maybe if you have the spiritual backing, maybe it's like 15-20% of it. But the rest, that 85%, 90% of it is going to be like actually getting out there and making it happen. So we have magic. We also have rest. So you guys have been working so hard. That Spirit is like, okay, you've done as much as you can do, right? Now it's time to just chill out. I'm laughing because I see that with myself, there's only so much you can do, right? There's only so much you can do in whatever time you have. You have to actually, along with actually working towards whatever it is that you're working towards, you have to wait. That's the hardest part for me. I'm good with going out there and, making it happen and really putting myself out there in order to achieve whatever it is that I want. The waiting is the hard part. There's only so much control you have over it. You have to wait for your blessings to come in from heaven. And that for me it's a struggle, because no matter how much work you put into something, you can't make it happen any faster than what it's supposed to. A lot of it is just divine timing. So we have magic, we have rest, and then we have anxiety. So it's like you guys are asking, am I doing enough? Have I done enough? Am I making the right choice? Am I doing the right thing? Did I take the necessary steps that I need to take? Just a hope, because you're like, I'm doing all this. Why am I not seeing anything? Why is nothing, coming into fruition? It's divine timing. You have to wait. You gotta plant the seed, do whatever you need to do to nurture it, to get it to grow, water it, give it sunlight, and then you wait and you rest. Imagine trying to grow an apple tree, and every 5 minutes you're going out there trying to get that little sprout to pop up from out of the ground. There's only so much you can do. You have to wait. What's the message, please? I really feel like that's the reading right here, but let's see what else. What's the message, please, for the collective? Temperance. What did I tell you? Wait, baby. You gotta wait. Moderation. You work a little bit, right? And then you rest. And then you work a little bit and you rest. This is it's about finding balance, everything in moderation. You working twice as hard, 10 times as hard in order to get whatever it is that you're trying to get. It's not going to make it come to you faster. If anything, you're just going to burn yourself out and make yourself too tired for whatever next step is necessary for you to take. And then that will delay your process of manifestation right there by itself. So it is really about temperance. It's about pacing yourself. Doing some here, do a little bit here, rest, do a little bit here, stop and go, balance, moderation. That's funny that Temperance card comes out. Otherwise, you're going to work yourself to death. We got 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, right? What else is the message, please? Also, that's Sagittarius energy, that Temperance card. We have Four of Pentacles, and then we have the Tower. So, Four of Pentacles, this kind of goes along with what I was saying a minute ago. There's only so much you can do. The Four of Pentacles speaks about control. It speaks about holding on to something so tightly that you don't give it room to breathe, right? And then with the Tower, you know, that's upheaval. That's, you know, a change you weren't necessarily, you didn't see coming and you weren't necessarily prepared for. So again, going back to moderation, right? There's only so much that you're able to control here in the 3D. When it comes to manifesting, there's only so much you can do right here on the ground. A lot of that stuff that you're waiting for, a lot of that stuff takes time. It takes time up in the ethers for, you know, your guides or the universe or, you know, God or whatever you subscribe to, right? It takes time for, you know, things to be moved out of the way, for roads to be open. Like, there's a lot of coordinating that they have to do up there in order for your dreams, goals, opportunities to manifest here in the 3D here on Earth. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, stuff that you can't even see. So you thinking that you can control maybe the timing of something, how fast it comes towards you, it's working backwards. You're working against yourself. You can not only like tire yourself out, you know, but delaying it. There's a you can delay those opportunities from coming towards you by trying to control the speed at which something, you know, manifests. You could be thinking, okay, well, I'm doing all this, I've done this, I've put all my ducks in order, I've dotted all my I's, I've crossed all my T's. Why isn't it happening? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's a slow process. And there's something about just learning to have patience. Somewhere, there's a lesson about that, somewhere in this journey, right? Just having patience and letting things unfold, events, places, people, letting things unfold as they're supposed to. What's the Tower here? I do want to clarify the Tower a little bit more. Where are we at? 748. 748. Okay. I'm not going to make this too long because I feel like I feel like honestly with the oracles, that was the message right there. What's the Tower, please? The Tower is 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is like a self-imposed prison, right? It's becoming a prisoner to your own thoughts. Being stuck in your head so much to the point where you can't think clearly enough in order to either see what's coming or be prepared for whatever it is that's coming. So that's a little bit of a warning, you know? Kind of be okay with taking a step back in order to allow whatever blocks or obstacles or whatever setup needs to happen in the ethers, allowing time for that to take place, and not working yourself to the bone to the point you're so exhausted or you can't think clearly enough in order to be prepared for whatever it is that happens next or whatever the next steps are that you would need to take. So take it easy, just breathe. Take a minute, maybe take a nap. What's the closing message, please, Spirit? Let's get some closing messages for this reading. You're putting in the work, though. That is very apparent. And your manifestations, they are in the works. They've been heard. That's too many. I don't want all those cards. Spirit heard you. They're like, okay, we know what it is that you want. Just give us some time. What's the closing message, please? For the collective. Closing messages for the collective. Oh my God. All right. We're just gonna pull these straight out because this is getting crazy. Two of Wands. Move these out of the way. Two of Wands. Queen of Wands. And the Lovers. So Two of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Lovers. I'm getting kind of two separate messages here. First message is there's an energy of, like I was saying, you just having to wait. You're having to be patient. As much as the Queen of Wands is a very like action-oriented card, she's very, and you don't have to be feminine. There's no gender in tarot. Queen of Wands can be a masculine operating in feminine energy, or, you know, take it as it resonates. All right, but Queen of Wands is someone who is very, she's assertive. She's a very action-oriented energy, right? So there is something about you having to wait for something to be fulfilled. But there's also another energy here of a choice needing to be made. Two separate directions that you can go, that you'll have to choose one of them. You can only choose one. So there's an energy of you having to, or you needing to really take the time to have foresight in order to kind of see planning, yes, but taking into account, how do I want to say it? Taking into account the advantages and the disadvantages of each of those options. All right, we're going to clarify. We're going to clarify the Lovers just to see what is this choice that needs to be made, and that might be something different for anybody who's watching. But we have Ten of Cups. Okay, something involving family. It looks like. Maybe some of you are deciding whether or not you would need to separate yourself from some type of family dynamic. Some of you have already made that choice. Yeah, so there's something here about having to break away from a traditional way of doing things, deciding, do I want to stay with what I know, what is expected of me, go along with the get along, or do I want to venture off and do something separate, maybe something more against the grain, right? So it has something to do with that. It has something to do with having to separate yourself from some type of tradition, some type of cultural belief, societal belief. And it has something to do with having to separate yourself from a family. If this is a marriage, this could be something about maybe divorcing your spouse, right? And maybe that's something that is super unheard of, and something that, may you feel as if people will judge you differently about it. I don't know what that is. All right. But yeah, so collective, that's going to be your message. I hope you guys are able to take something from it, get some clarity, and I'll see you next time. Bye.